Clear skies but empty cities, homes unsold and wealth erased. China's property bubble is bursting, and coast cities haunt its future. Hello and welcome to Explained by NewsX. Today, we dive into the heart of a crisis shaking the world's second largest economy. Yes, I'm referring to China's housing crisis, its economic slowdown, and uninhabited cities. Once the engine of China's meteoric rise, its property sector is now a ticking time bomb, dragging down growth, eroding wealth, and leaving entire cities deserted. From the collapse of real estate giants to eerie ghost towns, we unpack how this crisis has unfolded, its devastating ripple effects, and whether China can escape the shadow of its overbuilt dreams. From Beijing's skyrocketing home prices to the desolate streets of Kangbashi, China's property market has gone from boom to bust. Developers like Evergrande have crumbled under crushing debt, leaving 90 million empty homes. This is enough to house Brazil's entire population. As consumer confidence tanks and mortgage boycotts spread, the crisis threatens not just China's economy, but the global market. Today, we explore a few critical case studies that raise a chilling question. Has China built a future it cannot afford? In 2021, Evergrande, China's second largest developer, defaulted on $300 billion in debt. This sent shockwaves through the property market. Evergrande's excessive and aggressive expansion, fueled by loose credit and speculative land purchases, epitomized China's property bubble. By 2020, it has 1,300 projects across 280 cities, promising homes to millions. But Beijing's three red lines policy in 2020 capped developer debt and exposed its over-leveraged empire. Construction halted on projects like Ocean Flower Island, which was a $15.5 billion artificial paradise. This left 1.5 million prepaid buyers stranded. Protests soon erupted in cities like Shenzhen, with homeowners demanding refunds. As per Goldman Sachs, the fallout slashed China's GDP growth by 1.5% in 2022. Well, that's not all. It also sparked a crisis of confidence. And people were asking whether China can rebuild trust in a sector that once drove 30% of its economy. By 2023, mortgage boycotts swept nearly 100 Chinese cities as buyers refused payments on unfinished homes. With 10 million pre-sold apartments undelivered, furious buyers launched boycotts affecting nearly $270 to $300 billion in mortgages. In Shenzhou, protests turned violent as police clashed with homeowners outside store projects. Social media posts on Weibo showed crowds chanting "No home, no payment." Although these were quickly censored, these boycotts highlighted a breakdown in trust as developers, squeezed by debt, abandoned projects. Beijing responded with escrow rules for pre-sale funds, but enforcement lagged and local developers and then struggled to mediate the persisting unrest. Kangbashi district in Ordo city stands nearly empty. Designed for 300,000 residents, it houses a mere 30,000. It is a haunting symbol of China's overbuilding. Ghost cities like Kangbashi and Thames Town near Shanghai, which is a deserted British-style village, emerged from speculative construction in the 2000s. Now, over the years, local governments kept chasing GDP growth and sold land to developers who built for demand which never materialized. Its result is being witnessed now. Today, there are about 50 to 65 million vacant homes across China. These tie up about 10 trillion US dollars in capital. But that's not all. These empty cities burden local budgets with maintenance costs while contributing to 20% of China's carbon emissions. Additionally, proposals to convert these ghost cities into affordable housing or data centers face resistance from developers fearing price drops. And Beijing's efforts to stabilize the housing market, from loan programs to apartment buybacks, have all fallen short. In 2024, Beijing launched a $41.5 billion facility to support affordable housing and also encouraged local governments to buy unsold apartments. Yet only 280 million of the loan program was used. Cities like Shenzhou balked at low prices. The creation of a whitelist of developers eligible for loans failed to boost confidence. In fact, Hong Kong's stock indices dropped 3% after the announcement. Lowered mortgage rates and down payments have not spurred demand, as buyers now fear further price drops. Economists warn that without a $500 billion intervention, the inventory overhang will persist. To add to that, the Chinese economy's growth rate, which was once in the double digits, is projected at just 4 to 5% for 2025. It has been dragged down by the property crisis and structural woes. The property sector's decline from 24% of China's GDP in 2018 to 19% in 2024 has slashed local government revenue. Land sales are down 40%. Housing demand is further cut by a shrinking population, which is expected to drop by 204 million in the next 3 decades. An aging society, where 40% are expected to be over the age of 60 years in the next 30 years, also does not help China's case. Trade tensions with the United States of America adds to China's troubles, but China's economic slowdown threatens markets worldwide. A 1% drop in China's GDP cuts global growth by 0.3%, hitting commodity exporters like Australia and Brazil. Declining demand for steel and cement tied to construction has already lowered global prices by 10% over the last 2 years. Supply chains for electric vehicles and tech products face risks as China's manufacturing slows. Yet, high down payment and income growth have so far prevented a systemic financial crisis. Still, a prolonged slump could ripple through Asia and beyond. Amid all this, one thing is clear: China's housing crisis exposes systemic flaws in its growth model. So will China adapt its growth strategy, or will its overbuilt dreams haunt its future? That's all for now. Stay tuned for more on NewsX.